Welcome to the Macedon Public Library Book Discussion Technology event. So the first question I have is, what have you learned from reading this book about the disability community?
Yours isn't really what you have is a different disability, but yes.
I think it shows that people with disabilities, they are like us, they have feelings, they have interests, and that they could do anything that they put their mind to. Since this is a graphic novel, how does the illustrations affect the
Makes you
story?
feel like you know the character.
In chapter 7, Cece saw a after-school special about a girl in a situation similar to her. What is the impact that those portrayals have? Describe a time that you were able to relate to someone on screen or in
Not
print.
in this book, but that you might have been able to relate to somebody you read about in the Babysitter's Club. She has something similar to what you have, Stacy. So that was somebody that you can relate to in print. Could you relate to any of the things that Cece, you know how she was kind of aware of her having to have the hearing aids and all that. Do you have anything that you have on your person that you have that sometimes, because you're a diabetic, and sometimes you don't like people to know that, right? That you have a sensor to read so it's a little different, I think, but you're a similar feeling as Cece, right? Sometimes that you get embarrassed by that.
And for me, I relate a lot to Luna Lovegood and her part because, like her, I was kind of weird in high school. I did not have a lot of friends, so I was able to connect to her. Cece created an alter ego named El Deafo when she was struggling with people talking behind her back, and it was inspired by Batman. If there was a favorite character, okay, if there were any favorite characters that impacted you, how did they impacted you? El Deafo, that's because she struggles, she still is optimistic and finds hope, which I think is good. If you or your child, if your friend or your child have a disability, how would you explain to them about their disability if they realize that they have a disability?
Would you say it's a disability, or would you say it's just something that it's part of who they are?
You are capable of anything you want.
It doesn't define you.
Yes, it doesn't define you.
Diabetes doesn't define you. You're still Olivia Bardol. That's not who you are, right? It's something that you have, but it's not who you are.
Being in a class where everyone is deaf like her, and in class where she was the only deaf person, what are some disadvantages and advantages of those two environments? That's like, there's always this advantage and advantages on the different settings, and I think it shows that there's no one way to learn. Yeah, there is a character, Ginny, that speaks loudly and slow with good intention to help Cece. However, Cece had a hard time to understand her. Feel free to share a time when someone tried to help, but it ended up making things worse with a preschooler. And I was on top of that kid because I thought he needed my help, but I realized that if I let back, he was able to be successful because he wanted to have that independence.
He wants to make the craft the way they want to make it.
Right.
And if you just let them go ahead and do it their own way, and they learn more from that because they just learn how to do it themselves, independence.
And if there's not any way, I know, because we have friends at co-op, and I teach the preschool and kindergarten kids at our homeschool co-op, and we have that sometimes where some parents want to do it before they can. It's like, no, it's however it turns out. There's no right or wrong to this craft. It's okay. They don't have to act specifically. So yeah, I see that too.
Yeah, it's a preschool craft.
I
It's
know.
okay.
They're going to be messy, and they're going to be, it's not a big deal.
They're learning how to express themselves
Yeah.
and becoming independent learners in a way, even though they're so young at that age.
How do you feel about the friendship with Cece and Laura, who is bossy towards Cece? How will you handle this situation? What will you say to
I've
Laura?
had bossy friends before.
Yes.
It happens.
Yeah, I think we all have.
And we probably all have
Yes.
too.
Right, it's probably been the other way too.
Right.
Yes.
So what did you do? You wanted to resolve the situation, right? And you didn't do it in a mean way. I don't know, I wasn't in your class when you did it. I wasn't with you two. No, okay. But yes, it does happen.
Like, and I think every situation is different. So you had to figure out what's best for your friend and what is best for you.
Open communication.
Yes, open communication is always key.
Just talking to your friends.
Yeah.
And letting them know that you want to play with who you want to play with, and they're open to play with whoever they want to as well.
Is that kind of what you guys did? Yeah.
In chapter 9, Cece said that although she cannot hear, she does not use sign language. She described a time when you use a different method to achieve something. Was able to make her disability a strength rather than a weakness. Describe a time when you were able to make the best of a challenging situation.
I remember when you had the challenging situation with getting your diagnosis of diabetes, right? Did we make that into, did we dwell on it being a weakness, or did we do what we could to overcome that and just do what we had to do, right? So we didn't make a big deal out of it being like, this is something that, is a problem, or it's gonna be a weakness, I don't know, what are we gonna do, right? When we did a lot of research into what we should be doing, we changed our diet, we did a lot, didn't we? You're responsible for taking care of it, making sure that you check your sugars, that you know how you feel, all that stuff, I think.
Even though, like, with a health condition, you have to eat a healthy way. Like you're forced to, basically, to feel good, which sometimes seems like almost a burden or hard and challenging.
Doesn't it sometimes?
Yeah.
It does sometimes, but then when you're older, it'll just seem like second nature. Like it'll just come naturally to you, and that I think is a blessing, because a lot of people have to learn that when they're older, and I think it's almost harder to learn.
What would you consider a superpower that some people won't consider a superpower? Like for me, I have anxiety, and although anxiety is not fun, it helped me get things done. Like I am able to get ahead with school. I'm able to time manage myself. It may not feel good, but there's still some benefits to it.
No, I would agree with that, and I have struggled with that too, and I think I agree, it makes you, more aware of things and, what your limits might be and whatever.
Are you ready to do some Flipgrid? Intro to Flipgrid. This will be posted on Google Classroom after this program. How to get to Flipgrid for this program? Click on the link here. It'll take you to this screen. Click on Join with Google. Type in your email, or if you already are on your email, you can click right to it and type in your password.
And if you're on your computer at home, it most likely will just come up like that, since you have your password saved, and you can just click on it.
For Flipgrid, there are different features, like you could see here with different effects. You could also add in text, like the National Library book club, different colors but different backgrounds. And you can use a pen feature, which I circle in the star diagram. You also use sideboards, like as shown here. Also have pictures from your own devices, and you can use also different frames, different backgrounds too. Like it could be under the sea. Some video tips include speaking clearly, providing a transcript for the deaf community, have fun with backgrounds and props, and keep to the point, short and simple. Have fun and try new ideas.
To your main screen, there will be and join a group. And then you can put in that code. If not, you can just put the entire thing in the search engine.
So if you're at home, you can follow along that way.
So you could hit add group, join a group, and then put that code in. And that code is 67D38971. And then once you ask to join, one of us would accept that invite. From that page, Rebecca can accept your invite,
Okay.
and then it should show you access to all of those other Flipgrids that are on the page.
So for anyone at home, Donald is just a learning account that the library has made. Do you have to be part of a group?
You do not. So you can make Flipgrids on your own account.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly fine. But knowing how to use the group setting could be really beneficial if you're working on a school project or anything for your job, career.
Or if you had friends that like to read, but they moved and you wanted to have a virtual
Yes.
book club?
Then try add a topic.
Okay, let's see.
Post that topic. If you scroll down, add your first response.
Yes. First, I'm going to see what filter I would like. Let's see. Ooh. That ends.
I like the fact that you can really customize it and you can also make it more professional with the professional fonts,
Yeah.
filters, things like
Yeah.
that. Or you can make it fun for like you and your friends or family.
Some sideboards. Let's see what sideboards I like with this.
And that would be a great way using the sideboards if you needed to add a lot of text, like an information section.
Lights, camera, and action. 1, 2.
You can trim, you can edit, and you can rearrange. So if you said things in a different order and you want to switch them around. And
Or
then
if you get
finally,
nervous and you just forget to talk when you want to talk or something,
Yeah.
I sometimes do that.
Yes.
You can just cut that out.
and you can add sections and you can trim it a little bit. Like if you paused a little bit before you actually hit the stop recording, you could take that little end part off. And then you can add a comment and a title, and then you can post it or just save it to your own Flipgrid.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. So we have a new tech tutor that has come to Macedon Public Library. This is Sarah Cunningham. And if you have technology questions of any sort, Sarah is a great person to come to. She's going to be here every other Monday and every other Saturday. So I'll let Sarah, if you want to talk a little bit about anything, go for it.
Yeah, sure thing. So I am here as part of Digital Literacy Rochester, which is part of Literacy Rochester. So I'm very excited to help anyone 18 or older, or even if you're in the community and you have any questions, whether that's setting up email accounts, social media accounts, anything like that, or any tech questions, I'm more than happy to help you.
Thanks, Sarah.
I hope you liked today's presentation and that you read El Deafo. We have more copies of the book if you are tuning into this and you wish you would have read it. While supplies last, we have a few more copies that you can come to the library and get. And also give Flipgrid a try. As we said, it's a great way to keep up on reading with friends and have asynchronous book clubs and all sorts of things. So that's all. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.